Hello, Nick. So here we are. It's the early summer of 1778, and get you caught up. It's been an exciting turn. One thing I missed when the British took those French ports, they get +1 political will for each one, but I don't really know why that matters, since at this moment, taking the British to 0 political will doesn't win the game. So I don't know why that even matters. But anyways, let's get going. So the first impulse, the British, the British won, and Burgoyne up here, with the Army of the North, made another assault on Lincoln's army. He had the 11-7 advantage, and that actually gave him the advantage on the chart. But unfortunately, he was only able to do a 1-star result to Lincoln, and Lincoln did a 2-star back to him. Actually, before that happened, they played that Jane McCree massacre card, which right before a battle in New York, colonial player receives SPA militia. That actually put Lincoln on the same column as Burgoyne. So another throwback there. Both armies that have been facing off over here for a while, looking at each other. Washington decided he with his newly bolstered forces, he wanted to do something. Initial plan, he was going to go into attack Cornwallis, but it would have been on the same column again with the same modifiers. And when you're in that case, it favors the attack or the defender. You know, you could do the same amount of damage, but the attacker is going to be the one that retreats and gets demoralized. So Washington decided to go into Baltimore against Clinton, who was there. Clinton decided to hold rather than start retreating and let Washington run rampant through Virginia, and also didn't, want to lose Maryland, though it was a fool's errand. Washington had a strength of 12 with a +6 modifier, and Clinton had a strength of 5 with a +2. A chance, but it didn't work out. Washington did a 1-star on him, to Clinton only doing a star. So Clinton retreated out, and Maryland was freed. Militia roll there then gave 4. So that bolstered Washington's forces even more. So then the second impulse, the British won. Cornwallis, thinking that, all right, we've lost the South. Let's just maybe we can start wreaking havoc on the North. And that is exactly what, little to my knowledge, that my Washington self wanted him to do. So he attacked. There was 4 militia in Philadelphia that Washington had to leave behind because he couldn't have militia from one region going into the other. Cornwallis came in with a strength of 10 and a +6 modifier to the 4 entrenched militia, who had a -1, caused a 2-star to them, and only a 1-star back. So Cornwallis won that one. The British got a +1 political will shift because it was the first time they took Philadelphia. Again, unimportant. And looking on the chart, there was also Charleston. I think I gave myself that way back when. I'm not sure, but it didn't matter. It didn't change anything. So then Washington's army then turned around and took Wilmington away from the British garrison that was there. And that not only did that cut off Cornwallis's LOC, because this is colonial controlled, so he can't use that. He can only use this path out of Philadelphia if he also controls Wilmington. And so he'd have to wrap around here, and that's too far. He couldn't get anywhere. So that presents a problem because he's going to have to reestablish a line of communication this turn or surrender. And the other problem that does is that took away Delaware from British control, and that makes all 13 colonies now under colonial control. And one of the current victory conditions after the French entry is if at the end of a British impulse they control none of their 13 colonies. So what we currently have is a big problem. Also, then the third impulse, the Colonials won. If you remember, there was 5 militia that had retreated down here a long time ago. They attempted to move up to Schuyler. They wanted to leave some with Washington and then bolster Schuyler a little more. And I don't know if I showed when you move SP alone, you roll a d6, subtract 2 with a minimum of 1. They only rolled a 2, so they could only join up with Washington. So that leaves us now. We are on the third impulse of the turn, or of the season, and sorry, turned away there. And Cornwallis and the Royal Army needs to do 2 things. They need to reestablish a line of communication, which, they could always, run around here. Of course, even that. I guess they could. So they could run around here so that they could, be within 6 movement points of Alexandria. That's still not blockaded. However, if they don't take a colony this turn, they lose the game. And so looking at things right now, the possibilities that my mind has gone over, I thought, the easiest down here would be Georgia, because there's nobody down here, just need to take it. However, to control Georgia, you need Augusta and you need Savannah, and they only have this one loyalist down here. So that is out of the problem, and there's nobody that can rush down there. Neither player has any cards. The other possibility would be taking Norfolk, but that looks pretty iffy when you've got, let's see, 1, you got 3, 9 strength there. The best Fraser would be able to muster is 5. I guess he could grab these guys over here, 6. So he's going to be at a disadvantage. Probably not going to happen. Clinton could attack Schuyler, but in an effort to retake Maryland, he's got 3, 4. He's only got 4, and Schuyler has 5. Oops. Yeah, so he's got 5, so that would be at a disadvantage. Clinton's a B. Maybe that's the best possibility. The other option would be, I guess the problem, doing that, I guess that would reestablish there. So this would reestablish line of communication for Cornwallis and grab a colony. This one would, if this succeeded, it would grab a colony. However, Cornwallis would surrender. The other possibility, over here, Pennsylvania, there's too much. You're not going to take this, and this in one turn. Actually, not that. So had to take this one, and that one. No possibility there. Over here, New York, there's way down here. There's this in Albany that has caused nothing but problems. And then over here, Fort Stallwick. So that's not going to happen. New Hampshire, you only need 2 spaces, but you're not going to be able to take them with 1. Even an army going that way, they won't be able to make 2 attacks. Massachusetts, let's see, he could go 1, leave somebody, 2, 3, leave somebody, not be able to get over there. And then, there's just too much in here. There is this. If he comes over, he could go 1, 2. Yeah, he can't get there. So that leaves the only other possibility is that Cornwallis declares a march, and with the intent of going 1, 2, dropping garrisons both places, 3, 4, an attack here in Trenton. So that would reestablish his communication with Sandy Hook, and then taking Trenton would give him control of New Jersey. So he is a 5 for activation, so 1 in 6 chance that he fails and they lose. The attack here, I think he would have that pretty easily. The militia probably would stand just to, the hope of something miraculous happens, but I don't see that happening. Maybe they wouldn't. Him attacking into Washington, that seems very foolhardy. He's got 10. Washington's got 8, 9, 10, 11. He's got 16. So that's not going to happen. So I think the best chance here is for Cornwallis to do that, because we don't want to lose what troops we have. So let's just do it live here. So here is his activation roll. He's already declared how he's going to go, and here's the roll. A 3, so he does activate. So let's go back over here. So he's going to leave one there. Go 1. He's going to leave a garrison there. 2. He's going to leave a garrison there, which I need to get out. All right, so he has reestablished his line of communication. 3 and 4, he's coming in there. Oh, so let's see. Do they want to try to get out of the way? He's coming in with, what did I say, 10? 10 to 2. He's got a plus. Yeah, he's got a +6. Plus, that's just militia. It's a +7. The militia rolls with a -1. It's probably not worth even trying to stand. The best they could hope to do is a loss, and with a +7, even if he rolls a 2, yeah, they're assured to lose. So we'll try to evade with the militia. Here's their roll. They get 2 or less. They fail, so they will stand and fight. So let's it's -1. I'll put that there to remind me that's a -1, and for the Colonials and the British. Oh man, so they got 3, 5, 6. They're at 7. I'll put a 6 in there. That'll mean a 1, and then we'll roll these guys. This is pretty inconsequential. So we got 7 along with 7, 14. That's the top of the charts. So that'll cause 2 losses. Ooh, and the Colonials rolled a 9, which will go to an 8. They just missed doing a damage. So the militia's eliminated. Cornwallis takes Trenton, which gives them New Jersey, and they are still alive. However, there's 1 impulse left, and they are not out of the woods yet, because now Washington can just follow up, and it's going to force a battle. Unless there's some other way that they can gain gain a colony. So let's roll here for initiative on this final impulse. British get it. So we'll come back and see what they can figure out. British won. Well, yeah, I think you knew that. British won the initiative. I should have moved that last time. They came from the Caribbean, was able to get there, so that keeps D'Estaing from going out and playing blockade games, though he would have to take his troops with him because they're tied. They have to be with the fleet. So if they would leave, that would leave Gates a little tenuous, so probably weren't going to do that. The British may have panicked a bit more than they needed to that last turn. Instead of doing the New Jersey fun with a 1 in 6 chance of failure, could have just attacked here at Schuyler, which Cornwallis decided to this time and went from where he was in Trenton through Philadelphia into there. Schuyler successfully rolled retreat, moved back, which, you know what, I didn't, I could have pursued, but, yeah, they need to keep a force there. Anyways, I mean, they would just keep with the problem that they're constantly having, which at the moment, on Schuyler's activation, he activated from Frederick, went down here to Fort Cumberland and defeated the one strength point of British regulars there. So Maryland has fallen again, and the British are just going to have to keep playing whack-a-mole until they get this sorted. We're going to be going into the late summer turn, so right now Washington can easily, or even this militia. Now militia's got to stay there if they want to control New York, but somebody could just easily move in there and take out a garrison, and poof, they no longer have anything again. So I'm looking for Clinton, probably his first move to try to go after Schuyler, but we'll see how that goes. So on to the late summer turn. We'll come back when something interesting happens. Right into it. British won initiative, so Clinton activated, went 1-2. He's coming into Schuyler. He's only got 4 SP to Schuyler's 5, so he's coming in at 1-2 odds. So that knocks his +2 from Clinton down to just a +1. Schuyler, being a sea leader, gets a +1. So they're both on the 3 to 7 column, and they both are going to get +1. So this could be huge if the Colonials hold here, and I would say they do. Holy crap! So 12. That's going to cause 2 star, and let's see, 4 and 5. 5 isn't going to do anything. What a horrible catastrophe for Clinton. So he loses. The first one's got to come from the regular, and then the second one he'll take from the loyalists. And wow, that might be it. So he has to retreat back, get demoralized, and now it's going to be the Colonials' turn, which wow. I think the best thing, man, I mean, I just want to run here and wreck what he's got going on, but I need well, here, these guys, 4, what does he need? Oh, he just needs 2 SP to do overruns. So, but C.H. Lee's only a 4, so there's failure possibility there. You know what? We are going, oh man, Washington. So possibilities here to open up New Jersey. Washington could come in and do it, but he's got to leave enough people here so that Cornwallis just can't take Delaware. he could have the militia move, but they may fail. They'll get one for sure, so they could open that up, but then they could just scoot back through there, and that would be an easy battle. So they gotta make it hard enough. I'd almost think C.H. Lee activating and going, wanting to go Philadelphia, Monmouth, and maybe back. And that, well, no, he could still 1, 2, 3. Yeah, if Lee gets a full activation, he could go 1, 2, 3, get all those. That would be huge. Or I could turn some troops over, from Washington. You know what? I think maybe I'll leave Benedict Arnold behind to command a bunch of troops, and we'll activate Washington to come in here and kind of just go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's issues. So I'll do that, and we'll come back and see what the British reaction will be. Well, this game of cat and mouse, and the British playing whack-a-mole to keep their fortunes alive, continues. Let's see what happened. So, so Washington did an activation, and the army went 1, 2, 3, 4. They were both garrisons there, so they were just overrun, and he could continue moving. So that opened New Jersey up, which I don't know if I adjusted the political will or not. I just did, if I didn't. And then he dropped Arnold off here in Philadelphia with 2 SP of Continentals, moved back here with the bulk of his force. He's got, he got 6? He got 9 regulars and then the 5 militia here in Delaware, because the idea was the Royal Army, Arnold's not going to just retreat, so there's be a battle there, and that's it. And then Monmouth is secure. And so that would be a failure. So either he'd have to attack Washington, which seems, I guess, a little better odds since Arnold's not there. And really, I don't know. Maybe he should have just kept Arnold. I don't know. Too late now. Or, could just extend things by running down here and hoping to push Schuyler out, but then that'll get taken. It's just going to be a back and forth. But the initiative for the second impulse was a tie, and so now we go to the last impulse of the late summer turn, which this fleet out here, it was not able to get out, so I believe it's just going to go back to Europe, and it'll come in next season. And then so the card draw, the Colonials drew a card. It was a British card. They had to offer it to the British, and they're already kind of like, oh gosh, not good. And then they drew this card, which is pretty awesome. They can really punish the British, but the British got Cherry Valley Massacre. They can make the Colonials remove 1 SP of Continentals from the Middle States, and Arnold happens to be in the Middle States, and if he has to remove one, there's only one there, and the Royal Army has 10, so that would be 10-1, and that would be an overrun, because you only need, 8-1 odds? Yeah, 8-1 odds on an overrun. So that would make it again to where he'd be able to slam through there. Arnold either has to, if we play that card, has to retreat out of the way or be destroyed, and he could go back and take Monmouth, which I think is probably what's going to happen. So the British go first. They're going to play that. Oh, wait. You know what? The Continentals remove 1 SP of Continentals from the Middle States. So really, it doesn't say like that you you designate where. They just have to remove someone. So this is still good. The Middle States, I guess, could remove up here from Lincoln's army, or from C.H. Lee. I think Lincoln's army. That's really getting dangerous. But at the moment, this plays into things. So now that it's not as exciting as I thought it was going to be. So now the choices for Cornwallis is he can either try to take Delaware, which, man, he really regrets ever leaving that. So Cornwallis has, you know what, I think that might be, well, let's see. So Cornwallis he's got 10 troops, and he would have a +6 modifier. Washington has 6, 9. He's got 14 troops with a +3 modifier. You know what? I think because if the Royal Army just goes down and attacks Schuyler, then it's just going to be next turn we're going to have this battle. So let's just get it over now. So the Royal Army moves in to Delaware and declares battle. I mean, Washington's not going to retreat. So then the Colonials play this, which, the British are just devastated by. So they get -2. So the way it is going to be here, so let's see. So the Royal Army has Cornwallis, who's an A, and Kniphausen, who's a B, so that's +5, plus they've got a tactical leader, so +6, but with that -2, that puts them on the 4 column. And Washington's army has Washington, who's a B, so that's 2, plus they have a tactical leader, so that's puts them to a 3. Let's see, the Royal Army is going to be on the 8 to 14 table, and Washington is going to be on the, he's going to be on the same. He just missed getting on the 15. So this is huge. If Washington holds and doesn't retreat, then this game is over. I think the game is over. So let's see. So Colonials have 9 plus 3, that's 12. So that's 2 ***. And then 4 plus 4 is 8. That's only going to be a 1 star. So let me adjust. So Washington's army loses 1. Cornwallis's army loses a regular and a loyalist. And then they are forced to retreat back. They are demoralized. And we have, at the end of a British impulse, a situation where the British hold no colonies. Let's just double check. So Georgia, yep, both of these would have needed controlled, and it's not. There's nobody in South Carolina. There's not anything in North Carolina. The Colonials hold Norfolk for Virginia. Maryland, Schuyler holds Fort Cumberland. Washington holds Delaware. Pennsylvania, yeah, there's open key spots in there. New York, yep, there's open key spots. Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and New Hampshire. And let's just let's double check to make sure that I saw it correctly. So colonial victory conditions after French entry. Let's see. Prevent the British from controlling any of their possessions in the 13 colonies at the end of any British action pulse. Well, there you have it. Wow. That was a quick turn around of fortune. Things were looking good there with the British taking out 2 of the French possessions in the Caribbean. They would have only had to take 1 and hold those in their own till the end of the game. As the British player, I just kind of lost sight that I needed to have, secure a colony or 2. Preferably you want more than 1, so you don't get into this dance where every turn I got to retake a colony, and really, not the smartest thing when Cornwallis moved out of Delaware. That was actually a pretty good position, since you only had to hold 1, and he was kind of, he was in a position against Washington's army, whereas the defender with likewise forces, it was usually always going to be the attacker to retreat. However, it was still tenuous, and I think the next season, or the next time that once Rochambeau comes in and can park right there, that would make that untenable. So, I mean, D'Estaing is kind of tied here to protect Gates. Otherwise he probably over here. Otherwise he would be pushed out. So that was pretty essential. But he can't. The fleet can't leave those guys there. So the British would have had to do something by late spring, before Rochambeau arrives, to make them in a little better position. So, well, that was a surprise. I did not expect when I sat down that this would be it. Looking over things, just a lot of areas that didn't see a whole lot of action, but it was enjoyable. So I think next time, we'll talk about things, and I don't know. I'll have to start thinking about what I'm going to do next. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'll take a little break and try to clean this place up. Got to find that ward counter. Can't leave him lost. So, anyways, maybe you're not as surprised as I am. Maybe you were screaming the whole time that what a dumb move that Cornwallis made. And in lieu of that, the guy controlling the British in general. Which I admit, if I started it over, I would be a lot more cautious. I don't know, for some reason I just thought I wanted to go crazy and go blow things up. Probably, I don't know, upon, up here, what's his name, Burgoyne. I don't know, maybe he should have made an attack into New Hampshire. The only problem was, at the time with Lincoln's army, he had a pretty decent sized army that if Burgoyne left him unattended, he could have caused some issues up here. So playing this opposed, I think, would be interesting, because, when you're playing against yourself, you kind of, I don't know, I think one-dimensional. Not really thinking outside the box. Maybe another human opponent doesn't get so fixated on these armies opposing each other and just breaks loose with somebody else and really causes a lot of problems. Kind of like what Gates did. I mean, that right there is your MVP sitting over there at Norfolk. I mean, he cleared up the whole South. If not for that one card that the Colonials got. Oh, what was that? Guerrilla activity. That right there. That's what did it. Being able to remove those 2 garrisons and have militia flock back, and then Gates taking control of them. Wow. I guess I don't know. I mean, next time I'd be thinking like I need to put a full SP on all these and not just rely on the garrisons to hold them. But I mean, one benefit I think of garrisons is they satisfy the holding requirement. I believe, you know, for those spaces that require so much SP. You know, could be wrong there. Could have played a lot of things wrong, but I still enjoyed it. Yeah, the rules. You can complain about them, but there's a game here. Boy, you know, and I left these loyalist counters on the board. Never was able to call them into play in the Middle States or in New England. I had been going to call them in the Middle States right before I attacked with Burgoyne the one time, but the only place I would have got them was in New York, since you gotta have something under control. Probably the thing to do would have been to after I took New Jersey back to play it, so that I could have gotten some Pennsylvania. Yeah, I would have been able to get them on all. So there's a mistake. Lot of moving parts. Yeah, I mean, you played it enough, which, you know, I don't want to just play one game constantly. So, you know, by the time I get back to playing this again, eventually I'll have forgotten all these lessons that I learned and probably make the same ones. So, well, there you go. I'll quit stalling around here and move on with my day. So, talk to you later. Have a great one. Laters. So we have another quick addendum. So you probably were yelling at me as I was saying, yeah, game's over. Prevent the British from controlling any of their possessions in the 13 colonies at the end of any British action posts. And you were probably yelling, hey, look at the next bullet point, dummy. Prevent the British from controlling any of the 13 colonies while not losing any French possessions in the Caribbean at the end of the game. So, possessions. So that's not the colonies, I believe. So the game actually wouldn't end. But what's the possession? What are the British possessions? Well, I don't think there's nothing that says, hey, these are the British possessions. I can guess, and I'm pretty sure that it's correct, is under the control here, the British begin the game controlling all spaces in Canada, and 6 spaces in 13 colonies: Boston, Ticonderoga, New York City, Long Island, Portsmouth, Virginia, and 96. So the Colonials definitely didn't control Ticonderoga or 96. Boston, yes. New York City, yes. Long Island, I don't think they bothered putting anybody out there. It wouldn't have taken a lot. Probably to run somebody down and take 96. Ticonderoga would be difficult, but my bad. Misunderstanding that. But what that tells me is it was time. I think, and as you can see, it's a little late to go back. It's all packed up. So that's how it is. We'll discuss more next time. A little frustrated again. I wasn't he just constant going back and forth from just enjoying it and then get frustrated and so on and on. But that's it. I'll have to add this to the end of the video so that you know that I screwed up. So there you go. Laters.